The men in the lab coats were fond of saying that music is the medium of greatest sincerity, which is why you should always read song lyrics as statements of 100% literal concrete fact. That's how I know that singer-songwriter Vanessa Carlton is actually some sort of unclassified cryptid. In a song that I can't think of the name right now, but goes something like Vanessa Carlton insists that you know she'd walk 1,000 miles if she could just see you tonight. Now, this is obviously impossible for a normal government-regulated human being such as myself. We aren't talking about the proclaimers here either. They were at least pragmatic enough to split their 1,000-mile pilgrimage into 2 legs and give themselves an indefinite amount of time to finish it. But Vanessa says she can do the damn thing in less than a day. If we accept the premise that Vanessa had an early morning and walked continuously from 4 a.m. until midnight, that would make her average walking speed 50 miles an hour. 50 miles per hour walking. Since the average human can run 2 to 3 times faster than they can walk, it isn't unreasonable to assume that Vanessa Carlton tops out at somewhere near 150 miles an hour. Wind resistance might be a limiting factor, of course, but without the exact specifications of Vanessa's fuselage, my tests were inconclusive. Vanessa is fast, friends. Too fast. She's the fastest living creature on Earth, with the exception of the peregrine falcon, and honestly, they shouldn't count considering they're just feral, animate missiles that the Air Force bioengineered during the First Bird War. Vanessa is so preternaturally fast that she's been observed moving at speeds of 35 miles per hour while sitting down. You would be forgiven for asking, how is this even possible? Well, according to Mike deGrasse Tyson, there are 3 distinct possibilities. The simplest explanation is that Vanessa is several stories tall, and her massive stride length is enough to explain her outrageous speed. This theory is usually referred to as Big Carlton. Opponents of Big Carlton point to a seemingly obvious flaw in the theory that if Vanessa is so catastrophically huge, how does she appear to be normal-sized at concerts and in my night terrors? The answer could lie in a phenomenon known as foreshortening. Used frequently in film to make small objects large, large objects small, and left objects right, foreshortening provides a plausible rebuttal to the Big Carlton deniers. Sure, Vanessa looks normal-sized, but that's only because she maintains a several-mile buffer zone between her and every other living human. Theory number 2. If Vanessa isn't a giantess, then her speed might be explained by abnormalities or deliberate changes to her musculoskeletal structure. This theory is known as Cyber Carlton. The hypothesis of Cyber Carlton is that the human frame could not possibly generate or withstand the forces necessary to propel itself at such terrifying speeds. This theory is actually split between a number of competing camps. When Joel D. Morrison proposed the theory in 2001, he suggested that Vanessa had a host of cybernetic modifications to allow her feats of ludicrous speed. The Bio-Carlton camp, on the other hand, rejects the idea of inorganic modifications and suggests that her powers are derived from gene splicing and DNA modification. And of course, the ET Carltonians are convinced that Vanessa only appears to be a human, but is actually a hominid alien like Superman or Steve Buscemi. The differences between the 3 camps is academic in this case, since each hypothesis leads to a similar set of implications. If her speed is due to her unique musculoskeletal structure, then it's likely that Vanessa can jump at least 20 feet into the air and could kill a grown man instantly with a single kick. But there is a third, more terrifying theory. Neutron Carlton. A Vanessa made of neutron soup, a Vanessa so dense that she is able to warp space-time around her and travel at unreasonable speeds. If Neutron Carlton theory is true, then Vanessa is the densest object in our solar system. Very heavy. According to CelebrityVolumetrics.com, Vanessa is comprised of roughly 17 gallons of matter. Writing the numbers, this would mean that she has a mass of roughly 4 exagrams. That's this many kilograms, and it would mean that Vanessa will likely destroy anything within a few kilometers of her at any given moment. Oh, and did I mention that she probably has a resting temperature of several million degrees Fahrenheit? Which brings me to my question. How do we most effectively weaponize Vanessa Carlton? Because Lockheed Martin expected my proposal a week ago, and I can only stall them with pictures of big knives for so long.